Kirk Ferentz in no rush to take the field. Cyclones making their way through the tunnel. Ferentz, one win away from becoming the all-time winningest head coach in Big Ten history, eclipsing the great Woody Hayes. Listen to the environment here in Ames. Versus Big 12, Iowa versus Iowa State. It's the Super Bowl of Iowa, and it's only on Fox. For the call, Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt.
Welcome to the Jack Trice Stadium. Biggest day of the year in the state of Iowa. They're playing for the Cy-Hawk Trophy as the Hawkeyes come into town to take on 16th ranked Iowa State. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Ames. Let's start with the home team. Matt Campbell, what a job he's done. 10th year at Iowa State, led him to 11 wins last year, most ever in the history of the school. And he's got a quarterback named Rocco that is the foundation of the Cyclones.
Yeah, he's the rock of the Cyclones, there's no doubt, and he gives them a confidence and belief in this building and throughout this program that all they have to do is keep it close and get to the fourth quarter, because he will ultimately lead them to victory, as he did a year ago in this matchup against Iowa. Rocco Becht, he is certainly one of the better players in the Big 12 and around the country, pulling the trigger here for the Cyclones today.
As for the Hawkeyes, they're led by Kirk Ferentz, a legend, 27th year in Iowa, and he has a team that always brings in a good running game, and they'll play incredible defense. He also has a new quarterback.
That's right, Mark Gronowski.
All right, time now to join the third member of our team, who, by the way, has it. We call her the AAG, the All-American Girl. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Tabb.
Well, Gus, we also have a little bit of history on the line today with a win for Iowa. Head coach Kirk Ferentz would become the winningest coach in Big Ten history. How about this for Iowa State's Matt Campbell? He wasn't even born when Coach Ferentz began his coaching career. I asked Coach Campbell yesterday about Ferentz. He said, this is a guy I studied, I've looked up to. He's done it well, and that's been important to see. And I look forward to him getting that number, but definitely not today and not in Ames.
1979, I can't believe that number right there. Man, somebody's getting, all right, the weather. Perfect, 60 degrees, no humidity, sun is shining. We are in Ames, Iowa, folks. Yes. These games always close for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. The last 7 meetings, close ones. Iowa wins the toss, and they've elected to receive the football. Konrardy will send it away. Terrell Washington Jr., Caden Weegan back deep, and here we go from Ames. Weegan inside his own 5. Tight ropes the sideline and goes down as he crosses the 25-yard line, and that will bring on the Iowa Hawkeyes on offense.
Mark Gronowski, like I said, 50-6 in his career as a starter, 2-time national champion at the FCS level. And he struggled a little bit last week. I think that was a bit of a surprise for this coaching staff of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Only threw for 44 yards, and they got the sense that the game was moving a little fast, and maybe he was a little amped up. Gus, watch for them to get him running today.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 21 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10, Iowa.
Wow, I didn't even see the flag. That was Caden Weegan, the returner, 21, who was called for that unsportsmanlike. Let's see at the end. He's trying to get up. I don't know what And there was a little bump. You see right there, he kind of leans in and gives a bump. They throw a flag, and now Iowa will be backed up inside their own 15.
So first down and 10 at the 13 for the Hawkeyes. Terrell Washington Jr. lines up as the pistol back. Behind Gronkowski. And he'll run it on first down. And not much. The starting lineups for the Hawkeyes.
That offensive line is lean and mean. They're very good. And Logan Jones is the super senior who's probably the best one right in the interior at the center position. On the outside for them, skill position-wise, they're going to have to come up with an answer at running back. Kamari Moulton, their starting running back, a week ago against Albany, went down after 3 carries. So watch for Xavier Williams and T.J. Washington to carry the load in the run game.
Second down and 9 at the 14. Gronowski operating out of the shotgun. Patterson in the backfield with him. And they'll give it on the end around. And it's Weegin trying to get upfield. Nothing doing. A lot of red in that area. Resina with the tackle. Defensively for the Cyclones.
Well, Dominique Orange is really the key to their defense on the interior. He's the nose tackle. They call him the Big Citrus. Caleb Bacon is back after 5 snaps a year ago. He went down with an injury, was gone the rest of the season. He is back out there, a leader, a captain for them, and they're certainly happy he is back on the field.
Third down and 5 at the 18 for Iowa. Washington Jr. back in the game at running back. Gronowski may have to throw this one. There's the motion. Underneath, and it is, looks like it is caught. Should be a first down. Jacob Gill, no. He is a little bit short. So the Hawkeyes 3 and out on their opening series.
So here's Gill. He's going to come and hook up right here, and he's just short of the line to gain. The ball was low. Very similar to early last week. Gronowski threw a lot of those early passes low. Gill goes down to the turf, is able to corral it, but short of the line, and they're going to have to punt it away.
So Reese Dakin comes in to punt it away. He stands inside his own 10. Xavier Townsend is the deep man. This one shanked. And Iowa State will have great field position around the 45 to start a 32-yard punt. And that brings on the talented Rocco Becht.
You know, his ability, and now his 3rd year as a starter, to raise the level of all the players around him is something that just only a rare number of quarterbacks can do. And the belief that this team has in number 3 is really unmatched. And we'll see how much that they attack here down the field early in this game.
On first and 10 at the 45-yard line. Becht, 19 for 20, 278, 3 touchdowns, no picks last week. And they'll run it on first down. Carson Hansen exploding through the hole. And that's a first down. Let's take a look at this Iowa State offense.
Yeah, Dylan Barrett was a guy they wanted to play center. He's got to move out to left guard. That's where he played last year. Boniface steps in at center. And then in the outside, it's really about tight ends. We're going to see 2, 3, sometimes 4 tight ends on the field. Their best 2, Benjamin Brahmer and Gabe Burkle.
First down and 10 at the 44. Becht underneath. Finds one of his tight ends, and they've got a bunch of great ones. Brahmer with the tackle, a gain of 5 defensively for Iowa.
Well, this defense is going to have to pay attention to those tight ends. I think the defensive line is probably the best part of this Hawkeye defense. Some inexperience at linebacker.
Second down and 5. Hansen again. Let's see if we can get those lineups in as he gains 3.
So here's that defensive line, really experienced, very good. Max Llewellyn, Aaron Grace, probably the best guy up front. They've got older players in the second level, but a lot of new faces playing. And then in the back end, Xavier Wampa, he's their experienced player, heavily recruited out of Iowa, ended up choosing Iowa, and certainly a guy they'll lean on today.
Third down and 2 at the 36. Becht looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Hansen, first down, Cyclones.
Great push by that offensive line, and you're going to see that control from the quarterback quite often today. Gus, you're going to see a lot of Becht changing the play at the line of scrimmage, getting into the correct look, and here he does a great job getting into that run play right up the middle of that offensive line, and good push out there from the right side. Tyler Miller, the right tackle, excellent block there.
Last week versus South Dakota, Hansen 19 yards rushing. He also had a catch for 7, first down at the 31. Becht floats one near side, incomplete. He had his man, but in and out of the hands of Brett Skelton.
Good matchup out there. TJ Hall, the senior, number 2, in great position, and Eskilsson just can't turn back. That was a really accurate throw from Rocco Becht. Becht tries to go back shoulder. Eskilsson can't get back there, and it ends up being an incompletion.
Second down and 10 at the 31. Opening series for Iowa State. Becht in trouble, dancing out of the pocket, wants to throw it, and just dives out of bounds short of the first down marker. Shire giving chase, and there is a flag on the play.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
That's the center, Dylan Barrett, fifth-year senior. Actually, he's going to come out here to guard. You can see just a tackle as Jonah Pace, number 91, was quick into the interior of that defensive line and right in Becht's face, and now it's a long yardage opportunity.
Second down and 20 at the 41. Hansen in motion. Becht with time underneath, drops it off, caught. And this time it's Brahmer, and he'll gain 5.
Well, it looks like good field position, some rhythm early, but that penalty marks them way back. Then they're in a long yardage situation, and here we go, 3rd and 15. Now they are in field goal range. They got an excellent kicker, Gus, so they don't have to worry about gaining yards. You can't take a sack here, obviously, if you're Rocco Becht. And the last thing you would want to do is force the ball over the middle against a team that really masters in the interception.
3rd down and a long 15 at the 35. And they'll stay on the ground conservatively. Hansen turns a corner, dives forward. Intrigger with the tackle. It's a 9-yard pickup. And here comes the field goal unit. Kyle Konrardy comes in. 6'1", 205 last week against South Dakota. 2 for 2 with a long of 63 yards.
So this is a chip shot then, right?
Oh, my God. It's almost like a putt from 44 yards away. And perfect. Iowa State strikes first. 8:42 to go in the first quarter. 3-0. Time for today's game flow. Sponsored by Progressive. So a beautiful day for football here in Ames. Biggest day of the year. Matt Campbell, what a coach. We had a chance to spend some time with him at the Iowa State facility yesterday. Man, he comes from a great family, and we're looking forward to telling stories about him all afternoon. So can Gronowski and the Iowa offense get going? We'll find out right after this. Weed Road. Lately, it's been good to be the away team in the Cy-Hawk rivalry, with the visitors winning the last 5 matchups. Iowa hasn't won at home since 2018, and the Cyclones haven't won in Ames since 2011. That's 6 consecutive losses at home to the Hawkeyes. Kirk Ferentz 1 win away from passing the legend Woody Hayes. First down and 10 at the 25. Terrell Washington Jr., the lone setback. They give it to him running right. And he crosses the line of scrimmage, but is wrapped up quickly by McDonough.
It's no secret that the key to this offense is running the football and running the football on the edges of the offensive line. That's where the structure of Iowa State's defense is a little bit weak. That's why they ran it for over 200 yards against Iowa State a year ago. Also, what I would look for to incorporate is quarterback run. Gronowski ran for 1,700 yards at South Dakota State. I think, Gus, that they need to get him more involved in the run game.
2nd and 8 at the 26. And they'll move straight ahead. Nothing doing. That's right. Dominique Orange in the middle. The big citrus.
They're doing this with only 5 guys in the interior defenders, and they're going against 6 guys, including the tight end. But look how fast the safeties trigger downhill. They get in there to defend the run. That's the key to the structure of defense. Gus, they play 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. So those defensive backs, those safeties, they've got to be up near the line of scrimmage in order to defend the run.
3rd down and 8. At the 27. Gronowski floats it, incomplete. This time, Ostrenga, the intended receiver, but broke it up.
That's really good coverage from Tayshaun James. Watch number 19. He was in on the run stop on the last play. Here he's going to catch the tight end, 87 Ostrenga, and then he's going to be right in that catch zone, hands up through the face, and yet he avoids any serious contact as he's going back for the ball and prevents Ostrenga to come down with that. Another 3rd down stop for the Cyclones. This defense playing well.
So Iowa forced to punt it once again. And a flag.
False start. Kicking team number 12. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And this is an exact replica of what happened last year in Iowa City, except it was Iowa State with the rough start. Gus, they had the false starts, had a hard time dealing with the crowd noise there in Kinnick Stadium. And here, the Hawkeyes returning the favor in Jack Trice.
2 straight 3-and-outs to start the game for Iowa. Xavier Townsend is the deep man. This one takes an Iowa bounce and will be downed inside the 25. 7:09 to go, first quarter. Iowa State up 3-0. Rocco Becht and the Cyclone offense back on the field. After the 54-yard punt, Iowa State starts. 1st down and 10 to the 24. Abu Sama has checked in the game at running back. Becht, far side, caught and out of bounds. Gabe Burkle, another one of those talented tight ends. And Joel, usually it's Iowa we're talking about when it comes to tight ends, but these Cyclones have a great bunch.
And they're trying to replace 2 wide receivers from a year ago that both were draft picks, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, both drafted to the Houston Texans. They're not doing that with outside receivers. They're doing it with tight ends. And like I say, you're going to see multiple guys on the field all day long.
Here's Sama, first carry of the game, bounces it outside, strings it out, picks up a 1st down. Beautiful piece of running and blocking. Burkle with a sensational block to pick up that first gain of 11.
And here's the key is that if you're going to play tight end, you've not only got to catch the ball, you got to get across and get a good block, and that's what happens right there. Good job by Gabe Burkle. A couple of different blocks by 84 allowed Sama the ability to get to the edge, get to the outside, and pick up the 1st down.
Abu Sama Jr. from Des Moines. 1st down at the 41. Out of the eye. Second man through. Sama. Oh, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Shire just came up. Carson Shire, the senior from Iowa Falls, with a nice stick.
I really like Carson Shire on film. Because when you watch him play, he plays with a physicality and a discipline, always where he needs to be. Talking with their coaches, they think that Carson Shire is a future NFL linebacker, and that stick right there certainly suggests the same.
2nd down and 9 at the 42. Sama trying to drag defenders, breaks the tackle, and gets chopped down. This time is Zach Lutmer, but he gained 6 on 2nd and 9.
Well, now on 3rd down, this is where they really rely on Rocco Becht. One, to have the play call at the line of scrimmage, change it if he needs to, and then they also rely on those tight ends. Both tight ends that are in the game are going to be near side in a bunch set here. You've got both of those big targets right down here for Rocco.
3rd down and 3 at the 48. Becht, quick strike, a slant. They won't get it. Eskilsson trying to find a crease, gains a yard, and that brings up 4th and 2. And the Cyclones will punt it away.
Yeah, this is a great job. There's Shire. Remember, we just mentioned him, Gus. Watch 43 come in from the linebacker position. Great recognition from the inside. Makes the stop, forces a 4th down. Campbell, he's on the sidelines. He's going to start racing down to call a timeout. That was very late. The officials ended up giving it to him. The back official that had Campbell right in front of him gave him the timeout. Still 3rd down, Gus.
3rd down and 3 at the 48 for Iowa State. And they'll hand it off. Hansen, 1st down, Cyclones. Harrell with the tackle, but it's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 3. Good call by Matt Campbell.
Yeah, they tried to throw for it, but they come back right here, and here's going to be Hansen around the edge. Really good job up front, and a good read from Rocco Becht. Did you see the little fake that he gave inside as if he was going to fake it to Hansen and pitch it back in the interior? A really nice job by the veteran quarterback.
1st down at the 47. Becht fires down the field, and caught at the 10, Eskilsson. Brett Eskilsson, 2 catches, 77 yards last week, including a 61-yarder early.
Beautiful throw right here from Rocco Becht. You cannot defend that. On time and on target from the veteran, and the Cyclones are in business.
35-yard gain, other side, incomplete. Wow. Dominic Overby had it. Broken up, though, by T.J. Hall, the senior from Fresno.
Gus, Overby is 6'5", an enormous target down here inside the 15-yard line. 6'5", 200 pounds, trying to go up against T.J. Hall. Not small himself, 6 foot, but giving up 5 inches there in the jump ball.
2nd down and 10 at the 12. Abu Sama back in the game. He's had some big games for Iowa State in the past. 276 against Kansas State in 2023. He'll run it. Sticks his foot in the ground, cuts it back, and will pick up 3 or 4.
Well, this is an enormous series here. After the big play from Eskilsson down the left sideline is the ability, once you drive inside the 10, can you punch it into the end zone? You know, Iowa going to do everything they possibly can to force a field goal here. And obviously Iowa State, one of the reasons Iowa State was able to come back last year and win this game for Matt Campbell against Iowa is that they kept holding Iowa to field goals on the drives that were successful early in the game.
3rd down and 6 at the 9. The Iowa offense has been on the sideline for a while. Becht, incomplete. Brahmer, the target. Brings up 4th down and 6. And Matt Campbell will send out the field goal unit.
This is really good coverage from Lutmer. Watch number 6, Lutmer, and he's going to be man-to-man against Benjamin Brahmer, and he's able to just get right on that hip and stay with him, and that ball just over the top of the 6'7" tight end, and Iowa does force that field goal opportunity.
This one from 27 yards away for Konrardy. He's already good from 44. And good again. 2 for 2. 3:18 to play in the first quarter. Iowa State up 6-zip. Showing an ability to move the football. 10 plays, 67 yards on the last drive. Eating up 3 minutes and 51 seconds for Matt Campbell's team.
Yeah, Gus, this is our first chance to cover a Matt Campbell coached Iowa State team. What a joy it was meeting with him yesterday and his staff, and you can see why he's been so successful here, can't you?
Yes, so positive and encouraging to his players and committed to staying right here in Ames.
And, you know, they needed some plays from their quarterback down the stretch in order to get that win, but A gritty win, and certainly a season where they're trying to build off of what was a record-breaking season for them a year ago. 11 wins, 1 win away from going to the college football playoff. They want more than that this year.
First down at the 25. And it's Xavier Williams pushing the pile for 5. Let's go downstairs to the AAG.
Gus, an injury I'm keeping an eye on for Iowa. Tight end Addison Ostrenga has been taken to the locker room for further evaluation. It's a lower body injury. He was taken on the cart, unable to walk on his left leg. And as we know, for Iowa, they are deep at the tight end position, but still a loss for the Hawkeyes right now.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Second down and 5 at the 30. Xavier Williams remains in the game. And they'll give it to him, not a lot. But here's the deal, Joel. We watched Iowa last week against Albany. Gronowski is going to have to start making some plays.
Yeah, and listen, he struggled early last week, and they felt confident that their offensive line and run game could come in here and dominate early in this game. It has not. And so now another third down for the Hawkeyes, and exactly what they didn't want to do was put their quarterback under some pressure in what is the biggest environment that he's faced in his college career.
Third down and 4 at the 31. Empty backfield. Gronowski, sideline, nice throw, nice catch, completion. Jacob Gill should be a first down. They need to get him some confidence.
That's a throw that'll build some confidence. Good route here by Gill, and this time he does get the line to gain. That throw was on time and on target, and early last week, it felt like Mark Gronowski was holding the football, not willing to make the throws, but already today, a couple of times, we've seen him cut it loose, throw the ball on time, and that's something that Tim Lester, their offensive coordinator, was really harping on this week.
First down at the 36 for Iowa. Gronowski guns it over the middle, and incomplete. Gill, it was right in his hands. Good throw for Gronowski.
One of the things that they want to attack is the heavy downhill action that you get from these safeties. And once you get someone to trigger the safeties and the linebackers trying to throw those run-pass option routes behind them. So Gronowski's faking the run. He comes up, wants to throw it right over the top of those linebackers. And Jacob Gill, number 5's got to come up with that one. It was on the money.
Second down and 10 at the 36. Washington in the backfield. Gill in motion. Gronowski drops it off. Gill. Oh, and he's banged right down. That's a terrific defensive play. Marcus Neal Jr., a loss of 6.
Great defensive plays always start with great recognition. Watch Neal. He sees what's going on, and he steps inside of the new tight end. Hayden Large had to come in for the injured Addison Ostrenga. Jenny just showed number 87 hobbling to the locker room. His replacement misses the block. Marcus Neal with a big stop.
Had 5 tackles against South Dakota last week. Marcus Neal Jr., third down and 16. Gronowski fumbles the snap, picks it up, and it'll be taken down for a sack. Neal Jr. again. So back-to-back losses of 6 yards. Hostile environment for the Hawkeyes. Biggest game of the year in the state of Iowa. And the Cyclones come out on fire.
Timeout. Iowa State, second charged. 30 seconds.
And Iowa State will call a timeout with 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Well, boy, if you're Kirk Ferentz, you can't get to the second quarter fast enough, right? I mean, like, give us something different, because Matt Campbell and these Cyclones have come out there, and they have totally dominated this first quarter. Only 10 yards for Iowa. The offenses look stagnant, trying to just run the ball straight ahead. They felt like that was an advantage, Gus. They felt like they could run the football. They have not been able to do so. A big credit to, by the way, Dominique Orange. Big citrus, number 95 for Iowa State. It's not always that you have to call his name, Gus. It's because he's the centerpiece of that run defense. And if he plays well, everybody else is free and can make plays in the run game, which they have.
So Orange is from Kansas City, Missouri. During COVID, he ballooned up to 400 pounds. Prior to that, he had scholarship offers to Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, Iowa, but they all took them back. Meanwhile, Iowa may have the football. They muffed the punt, but there is a flag down. Endringer recovering the football. And this may be catch interference.
There is no foul for catch interference as the player was blocked into the receiver.
So the Hawkeyes catch a break. Special teams.
So here's Zach Lutmer, number 6, and he's being blocked right there, kind of, but then he tries to avoid that little area around the return man. And as you can see, Xavier Townsend, the transfer from UCF, can't get to the football, bounces off him, and then Iowa is right there. And they are going to take another look at this because, again, I didn't think Lutmer was technically blocked into him as much as he kind of backed into him after the contact with the blocker. And I also, Gus, I don't know if it touched Iowa State first. I think it might have touched Lutmer first, and that's actually probably what they're looking at. Rather than the kick-catch interference here is the idea of what touched the ball first. It might have been the Iowa player. So all they can look at here is the ball touching the player. And so we're going to see which player does it come off of first. You see how it hit his backside there, Lutmer? At that point, it doesn't matter if it touches Townsend. It's not live. So that ball would put it down, and it would be Cyclone ball first down. I think that's what they're looking at right here. See, there's the I think that's the first touch, the right hamstring of Lutmer, which then that's not a live ball for Iowa at that point.
Did it touch
even
Townsend's right arm?
They'll have to, that's what they're probably looking at. It didn't look like it did to me. And after it touches Lutmer, just to clarify, doesn't matter if Townsend touches the ball. Iowa can still not recover that punt. For possession, I should clarify.
3 seconds remaining in the first quarter. My question to you is, with 6 seconds remaining in the quarter, why did Matt Campbell call a timeout?
Oh, gosh, maybe it did hit his forearm. I think I didn't see what was going on. I think they had a lineup issue. Gus, you're onto it here. You have better eyes than me, sir. Look at that. Did that touch his wrist?
Looks like it did.
If it did, that makes the ball live for Iowa, which means that they can recover that for possession.
Boy, that's close, though.
Wow, that is close. Gus, good eye.
58 years old, still got good peepers.
What you do? You been eating carrots? What are we doing?
No, I got medicine in my glasses. That's what the old folks say.
I'm going to need some of that medicine.
Yeah, it's coming. Trust me.
I bet.
Trust me.
I bet. Oh. This is one of those where it starts taking a long time, and you know, if you can't tell, you kind of have to go with what's called on the field. On the field, it is a muffed punt recovered by Iowa. You know what we need? You know what we need to start doing? Put a timer on this. Just put 90 seconds up. And it's like, if they can't change it.
We got nothing to do. Why the rush?
Well, you see,
this is part of the drama.
You hear them out here.
Everybody at home is making a decision now. What do you think? If you're an Iowa fan, they touched it. If you're a Cyclones fan, we didn't touch it. I love the drama.
Yeah, you're building the suspense here.
I love
the drama.
Look at everybody here.
Everyone's waiting around.
I am not in a rush, especially in Iowa. I remember going back years ago when I was the play-by-play voice of the Baltimore Ravens preseason games and also during the regular season at CBS. Had a chance to spend a lot of time with Coach Ferentz back then. What a person.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The ball touched the Iowa State player. It'll be 1st and 10 Iowa.
Hey, I need some of that peeper medicine right there. You know what I mean? You got some eyes, partner. I tell you what, you exactly called it right, Gus. Right off the wrist of Townsend, the returner. Then it touches Lutmer, the safety, in that right hamstring. What a break for Iowa, and we'll see if they can turn this good break into some offense and create some momentum here on the road.
I got progressive glasses. That's what they call it. That's the medicine. Modern day version of bifocals. First down and 10. At the 33. Xavier Williams in the backfield. He's the pistol. Here's Gronowski with the leg. Stays in bounds. First down. Leads forward at the 20. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. A 13-yard run. 6-0 Iowa State.
Well, Coach, you just said it. Timing there. Your reaction to the call being upheld.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to evaluate. So the reality is we can't change it. We got to respond. And, again, that's what this program's been built on. So we'll keep playing.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
All right, first down and 10 to the 20-yard line. For Iowa, Xavier Williams. They give it to him, running left. Can't get around the corner. He is tackled for a loss. This time, Jontez Williams, the junior from Stark, Florida.
This Iowa State defense flying around, and they are being very aggressive to the first ball carrier. That's why that quarterback run right before the end of the first quarter was so successful for Iowa. If they want to break up this defense and the fast flow of this defense, Gronowski, number 11, will need to carry the ball more. And there's John Haycock, the defensive coordinator here at Iowa State. He's been very successful. This was the #1 defense against the pass in the college football a year ago.
Second down and 11 at the 21. Williams again running right this time. He'll lean forward. Picks up 3, maybe actually 4 yards on the play.
Massive snap here. Gronowski and this offense. They've only completed a couple of passes, 4 of 6 for only 7 yards so far in the game. Everything has been short and underneath. Their best tight end is out with an injury, Addison Ostrenga. Where do you go? Jacob Gill, number 5, has been the guy that they have targeted most so far today on third down. He's in motion, going to the top side of your screen.
Third down and 7 at the 17. Gronowski. Nice throw, not enough for the first down, however, and that is Jacob Gill. So Kirk Ferentz has the decision to make. Does he go for it on fourth down?
Man, they haven't done much all day, and Kirk Ferentz is going to go ahead and kick the field goal. Listen, I'm not going to argue with a guy that's won 205 games in his career. I would just say Gronowski at fourth down. I like that matchup. Their quarterback's 235 pounds, but here Iowa trying to cut the lead in half.
Drew Stevens into attempt a 31-yarder. And it's good. Barely.
Stevens' kick is good.
So Iowa on the board. Drew Stevens with a 31-yarder, 6-3. Back after this. On top, Iowa finally getting on the board. Iowa capitalizes off the muff punt by Iowa State. Drew Stevens ready to send it away after the 31-yard field goal. Xavier Townsend, the deep man. Townsend. And he'll fair catch it at the goal line.
The Pacific Life Game Summary is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. The first quarter, it was really all Iowa State. They were up 6-0 at the break. Iowa is able to tack on a field goal after the muffed punt, and they got great field position. Mark Gronowski, the transfer from South Dakota State, only 19 total yards so far. Rocco Becht has been good. Goes 4 of 7, 52 yards. The offense already over 100 yards in that first quarter. They were up and down the field.
First down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Abu Sama in the backfield. Becht drops it off. Sama, head of steam, tracked down at the 30 by Shire. That's a gain of 4.
Now that's what Iowa State needs to avoid, is the frustration, because obviously offensively they feel like they played well. There was things there. Becht played really well in the first quarter, and yet they got held to 2 field goals. So now you're only sitting there and it's a 6-3 game. You feel like you've played really well as an offense. As a veteran quarterback, you just have to calm your guys down and say, listen, everything is there for us. Our game plan is working. Let's just go execute.
2nd down and 6 at the 29. Delayed handoff. Sama. Now, Sama can really run the football, folks. As we mentioned, he ran for a career high, an Iowa State freshman record, 276 yards on just 16 carries in the snow against Kansas State in 2023, averaging 17 yards a carry. He had TD runs of 60 and 71 and 77 yards. Third down and 7 to the 28. Sama now motions into the backfield from the slot. Becht drops it off. Sama again in space, tried the stick move. And he'll cross the line of scrimmage and pick up 2 yards on the play. Jonah Pace with the tackle.
I'll tell you, that is good hustle by Jonah Pace. Here's your defensive lineman right here, okay? So he's going to be rushing up the field, and then after the throw, he's going to hustle himself back to the point that Sama is cutting back, and boom, makes the tackle right there. Big fella pursuing the ball, making the play, forcing the punt.
Tyler Perkins comes in to punt for the first time for Iowa State. Standing at the 15, pops this one in the air. Weegan. And a fair catch made at the 30. A 40-yard punt. Defensive battle so far, folks. 6-3. Cyclones.
Here as well for those Hawkeyes.
Gronowski faces a 1st and 10 as his own 30. He'll throw this one. Rolling with time. Now wants to run it. Dumps it off. In and out of the hands of Zach Ortworth. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I like the idea because Iowa State has been very fast to pursue the original ball carrier. So what I thought this Iowa offense needed to do was start using that aggressiveness of the Cyclones against them. Use it to fake to the running back, roll the quarterback out, maybe get the quarterback run game going, maybe play action and force the football down the field a little bit. But they've got to try to do something to get these safeties to pay attention to something other than the run game.
2nd down and 10. Near side, caught. Seth Anderson gains 5, and it looks like Mark Gronowski now is starting to find his rhythm.
Yeah, I think he does, Gus. He's throwing the ball on time. He's been on target, but everything is short. The game plan is too safe. They need to run past these defensive backs from Iowa State. Iowa State is sitting and pursuing the ball carrier. They're squatting in the secondary. If they want to play action pass, they can run right by this secondary at some point. They take a shot in the next couple of plays. If they get this 1st down or right now, it's likely to be a big play.
3rd down and 5. Hawkeyes 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions at their own 35. Gronowski out of the gun, empty with time. Look at that line blocking. Nobody's open. Gronowski needs 5. Out of bounds. Well defended by Iowa State. Dominique Orange with pressure.
Look at all these short routes and watch these Cyclones. They've got just no deep help. They get away with a little push. The ball could have gone to the tight end right there, Hayden Large. But you're not trying to run by anything. Everybody is short. Everybody is breaking sideways. No one is threatening the defense vertically right now fast. And because of that, they're able to just sit, make the play, and force Gronowski to hold the ball.
Hawkeyes booted away. Dakin. And this one rolls into the end zone for a touchback. 65-yard punt, but a flag on the play.
Holding, number 36 for the receiving team. Penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10. Media timeout.
We'll go to break here. 6-3 to score.
Special of a year did he have as a rookie.
1st down and 10 at the 10. Hansen. And a fumble. Looks like Iowa State, though, jumped on the football.
How about Boniface, 63, Johnny on the spot. Very lucky here. Here's Carson Hansen. He's going through. Nice tackle. That's 41, Jaden Harrell. Ball is loose. And fortunately for Iowa State, there's Boniface. He's able to just land on the football right there.
2nd down and 8 at the 12. Becht checks it down. Out of the backfield. Hansen, nice move, turns it up. And if he didn't step out of bounds, looks like he's close to the 1st down.
That's a really nice catch and run from Carson Hansen. And you can only do this if your quarterback gives you that ball on your upfield shoulder so you can run through it and have the ability to gain some yards after the catch. And that's why he was able to create such a manageable 3rd down situation here. They'll bring a couple of tight ends on the field like they normally do.
Hansen, his 3rd year with the Cyclones. Ran for 752 and 13 touchdowns a year ago. Scored 6 straight touchdowns for the Cyclones over a 2-game stretch. He's a player. 3rd and 2. Becht hit as he throws. Incomplete. Dominic Overby looks like he had a step or maybe even 2. Aaron Graves, though, with pressure from Iowa.
Graves saves the touchdown here. Watch Graves as he's going to come right in the middle of this, and he gets some pressure on Becht. And Becht has to just kind of back foot that ball. Maybe doesn't throw it the way he wants to, and that's why it sails behind Overby, who tries to reach back over the back shoulder and bring it in, and he's unable to do so, and they'll have to punt it away.
Tyler Perkins inside his own 5. Caden Weegan standing at the 38. Weegan camps under it. And it's fair caught at the 35. This is a production. This is a show.
That's right.
All right.
We're building drama.
That's right.
Let's make it drippy.
There's a lot of bets going on about who's going to win this one right now. 1st and 10. The trivia question, that is, folks. Xavier Williams running near side, and he's tripped up. Tackle for a loss. Nicely done, Jeremiah Cooper. The answer, folks. Kellen Moore from Boise State.
Wins looking for 51.
Moore, the head coach of the Saints. Gronowski. And intercepted. Down the sideline. Cooper out of bounds in the 1st turnover of the game.
Boy, this is tough for a quarterback. Watch Weegan, the wide receiver. He slips out of his break, and that allows Jeremiah Cooper, who is an excellent corner for Iowa State, to jump the route, get in front, and pick it off before he goes out of bounds. This Iowa State team is not worried about the deep threat of Iowa at all. Iowa continues to try to throw these short routes underneath these defensive backs for Iowa State, and they are too good for that. Jeremiah Cooper steps in front. He moved from safety to corner, Gus, and he played that one perfect.
8th career interception for Jeremiah Cooper, senior from El Paso, Texas. Cyclones in business. 1st down and 10 at the Iowa 18. Becht wants to run it, picks his hole, gets through it, and goes down at the 12.
Man, I tell you, this is just so unique, Gus. How many times do we get 3 different tight ends on the football field? You got 2 over there, you got 1 in front. And then when you've got that ability, look at these guys pulling around. You got offensive linemen in front of Becht. Becht is a big kid himself, 210 pounds in those legs. We sat with him yesterday. He squats 550 pounds. A lot of power there for Becht in that offensive run game.
2nd down and 4 at the 12. Abu Sama back in at running back. Sama gets through the hole and picks up a 1st.
I tell you what, these games always low scoring and they're always tight. These are the most significant snaps of the game. Gus, you got 1st and goal inside the 10, a veteran quarterback at home. Iowa State has to score this ball into the end zone. You cannot settle for a field goal. I would expect Matt Campbell to even be aggressive potentially on 4th down if they're within 2 or 3 yards.
1st down and goal at the 7. Becht tucks it, bounces it outside, and slides down inside the 5, a gain of 3. I tell you what, I used to call Rocco Becht's father's games Anthony Becht.
That's right.
When he was playing for Don Nehlen at West Virginia his freshman year. And he sat down in the room with us yesterday, man. I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. It was surreal.
It is, and you know, Anthony has done such a great job in the UFL as the head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks. So I've gotten to know him calling those games. Met Rocco before one of those Battlehawk games on the field before the playoffs this last spring. Easy guy to root for. Humble, very courageous, good talent.
And they'll run it straight ahead. Sama, look at the drive. He's a little guy, but with powerful, powerful legs.
All right, so now we get into it. Remember right before the 1st down play, I said I think they might have 4 downs to score here. We're going to find out with this play call. If Matt Campbell tells his coordinator, Taylor Mauser, that he's got 2 to score, this can be a run. If not, they'll get Becht on the edge and try to throw it to convert here on 3rd.
3rd down and goal at the 2. Becht. End zone. Touchdown, Cyclones. Benjamin Brahmer. He had 2 touchdowns last week against South Dakota. This is his 3rd of the year.
Well, here's Jaden Harrell in man coverage. Watch him bump out with the motion. And now you've got the middle linebacker on the tight end. That's a mismatch for Iowa State. Remember, Brahmer is 6'7", 255 pounds. Harrell's only 6'2". Advantage Cyclones, touchdown Cyclones.
5 plays covering 18 yards. Extra point is good. Cyclones eat up 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It all started with the interception. And then Rocco Becht pays it off with Ben Brahmer.
I said at the outset of this game, that guy right there, number 3, gives this whole program a different level of confidence and belief about what they can go out there and do.
Does he have a Brock Purdy feel?
It really does. It really does. It's very similar, and this organization, this program under Matt Campbell had a lot of belief in Brock Purdy, obviously.
Legion. Flag on the play. He'll get to the 15 before being wrestled down. Cooper with the tackle on special teams, or interception and a special teams tackle. And now they're going to take the flag off the field. They'll pick it up.
Well, Matt Campbell told us, you know, no matter what happens in this building, you can face some adversity. No matter what, guys will come up to Matt and say, don't worry, Rocco's here.
That's right.
That's what they feel about this quarterback. I think it bleeds into every area of the program, including this defense, which has played outstanding so far today.
11 wins a season ago. Here's a handoff straight ahead. Jazz Patterson. He gains 5. Different story right now for Iowa with their quarterback, Mark Gronowski.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm Iowa State and defensively, if I'm John Haycock, their defensive coordinator, this is one of those times I feel like is a pounce moment. Why? Well, the crowd is into it. My offense has rhythm. My quarterback has rhythm. Go get me the ball in good field position. If there's a time to be aggressive defensively, this is it for the Cyclones.
2nd and 6 at the 19. Patterson remains in the game. They'll give it to him. And Patterson burst. Nice burst as he picks up 10 on the play.
I tell you, this is an excellent block by the backside guard. Watch number 770, Bo Stevens. He's going to race around here, and then he's going to hook and get his butt into the hole right there. And that affords a nice running lane for the running back for a 1st down.
Longest play of the game so far, for Iowa. Play fake. Gronowski. And puts that one on the money, but incomplete. Seth Anderson just couldn't hang on. So when it comes to the passing game for the Hawkeyes, unfortunately, they just don't have any kind of rhythm.
Well, look at the defender. Tell me this defender is threatened deep at all. They are just sitting on these routes. Now, you can tell me, oh, maybe we don't have the deep threat. Double move, slant and go, out and go. You've got to get these defensive backs to soften up somehow, some way. Either put them in the conflict in the run game or double move on the outside.
2nd and 10 of the 29. Gronowski. He'll throw it. Underneath, caught. Sam Phillips. Joel, here's my question. Is it that much of a difference coming from South Dakota State to playing in the Big Ten at Iowa?
I mean, this environment is certainly different. He's never dealt with an environment like this on the road, and he's dealing with emotions right now that he's never felt on a football field, even as experienced as he is. You can tell me South Dakota State went and played at a big stadium. It's not the same as being in this road environment and in this matchup and rivalry.
First down, and they'll run it with Patterson. You told a story about when you were playing quarterback, how you faced a big-time environment and just had a brain freeze.
Well, and it was my first time. And again, this is Gronowski's real first time in an environment like this. When you are out here for the first time, let me try to make an analogy. If any of you have gone down a roller coaster and you feel out of control when you're going down, you hold your breath. It's a similar emotion when you're a quarterback trying to operate an offense on the road in an environment like this for the first time. And Gronowski is trying to deal with that real time right here.
2nd and 6 of the 48. He'll throw it again under pressure. He can run. Gronowski slides down. Looks like he picks up the first down. By the way, where were you playing that first game?
So we played at Kansas State, the eventual Big 12 champion in 2003. It was a very good team with a good defense. And I'll tell you this, I said a few formations wrong, didn't even realize it. Coach Barnett was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Because my heart rate was up. Everything was up. I couldn't think straight. Maybe Gronowski's dealing with that.
Some things don't change.
Yes.
10 years. No, make it 11. Some things just don't change. 13-3, 2 minutes.
Upset alert, boys. We'll see you at the break.
All right, Robbie, thank you very much. 3rd down and 1 at the 47. Gronowski runs it. I don't know. Caleb Bacon was there defensively for the Cyclones.
He needed to get all the way to the 44-yard line. I don't think he did, but they are going to measure this. That's a generous spot, I will say that. It's tough to see where he actually got. 235 pounds, you can see. Beautiful job by Caleb Bacon. So good to see him back on the field after losing him only 5 snaps into the year a year ago. John Haycock doesn't like the spot, and that's why that ball was 2 yards short.
Did he get enough?
First down.
Gronowski using that big body, 235, as you mentioned, 6'2", from Naperville, Illinois.
Please reset the game clock to 1:56, 1:56.
Is J.J. McCarthy from Naperville, Illinois?
That sounds really familiar.
Thank you.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it was somewhere in that region.
First down and 10. J.J. McCarthy, former Michigan quarterback, now with the Minnesota Vikings. Rocco from Naperville.
On the line, here's a much better look right down the line. It's really hard to see exactly where he is, where he gets to.
Review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down.
So it's a first down. Mike Pereira during breaks. He's in the Fox weight room in L.A. doing a bunch of deadlifts and inclines. You can tell those shoulders, traps coming back.
He doesn't care if he can lift, just so long as he can have that sweet golf swing of his.
That's right.
Love seeing him back on the course.
No doubt about it. 1:56 to go. First down and 10. This drive started at the Iowa 15. Patterson the pistol. They give it. He'll get through the hole and get a big chunk. That's a gain of 6.
I'll tell you, doesn't it seem like Jazz Patterson has given them a little life in the run game?
Yes, he has.
And remember, I told you their original starter, Kamari Moulton, injured himself last week in week 1, so they're going with the hot hand.
This series dates back to 1894 in a meeting in Iowa City. Iowa leads at 47-24 and has won 6 straight games here in Ames. 2nd and 4. Gronowski standing strong, steps up, and incomplete. Pressure by McDonough.
Really good coverage by that secondary. They go back to 3rd and 3 for this Iowa offense. They haven't been able to get the ball past this defense at all. Passing game has been a struggle. Gronowski's been much better, but the coverage has been, it's equal.
3rd down and 3 at the 39. A minute 27 to go in the 2nd quarter. Gronowski goes through his progression, steps back, takes his time, near side, caught, Gill, and he'll get out of bounds at the 20. Incredible blocking by the offensive line on that play.
I tell you, that was insane how long he had to throw. Only a 3-man rush, and here's the entire route you're going to get from Jacob Gill. Look, he's going to work over here. Now he's going to find a soft spot, and finally the ball gets to him. Gronowski finds him because of all that time the offensive line provided.
A gain of 16. 1st down and 10 at the 23. Gronowski bounces it, looking, and he'll just throw it out of bounds. Ezeagu with pressure for Iowa State.
Yeah, this is a difficult position because what Iowa wants to do is try to use the aggressiveness of Iowa State against them, so they want to be able to use the run fakes and the play action. But in this setting, you're a minute 9, only 2 timeouts for Iowa. I don't think that Iowa State is going to be biting on some of that. So it's just up to the passing game and the route structure in order to get free, and they've been unable to get separation.
12th play of the drive. It started at the 13. They'll run it. Williams keeps his balance. What power. Xavier Williams gains 9. Timeout on the field, 56 seconds remaining. 13-3, Iowa State. Seconds remaining. Partner, your thoughts on this first half?
Well, it's been dominated really by Iowa State, and this is just a total bonus if Iowa is able to drive down and get a score. Now, I'd much rather have a touchdown. 12 plays, 71 yards. I would go for this on 4th down. I think they've got 2 plays to get it, but knowing Kirk Ferentz, he's probably thinking field goal is a good situation as well.
3rd down and 1 at the 14. Gronowski looking for the first. He has it, and a little bit more. Dragged down at the 10.
Coming out of that last timeout, you would think that they have 2 plays called. So they got that quarterback power, they get the 1st down, and now they've got another play ready to go in the no-huddle, and that's exactly what they've got.
1st down from the 11, 50 seconds left. Gronowski checks it down. Patterson, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 10. Gain of 2, Hawkeyes with the timeout remaining as they continue to knock on the door.
Boy, what a drive here. You know, a couple of conversions. The offensive line. There was a timeout on the field. I believe that there was an Iowa State player that was slow to get up. And so he's off to the sideline, and they'll be back out on the ball. But Gronowski has been really good on this drive.
2nd down and 8. 44 seconds left. Gill in motion. Play fake. Far side. Ball thrown low and incomplete. Jacob Gill, the intended receiver.
You know, I don't think that this is a bad thing for Iowa that this was incomplete. I think you would rather it be incomplete, save the timeout for only 2 yards. You're going to save time on the clock. I get it, it's third down here. But you got a couple of plays. Probably going to settle for a field goal unless you get down into that 4th and 1. So this is a ball that almost certainly will be thrown past the chains.
3rd down and 8 at the 9. And this time is Iowa State calling a timeout.
3rd and final charge of the half.
And we'll stay right here. Matt Campbell wants to talk things over.
Gronowski has had lots of time to throw, and he's been able to move the chains, but no play more important than this one.
What kind of stuff do you want to run in this area, Joel?
Well, this is, unfortunately, if you're an Iowa fan, this is the toughest part of the field to throw. And it's all about timing and spacing. And you need to have a matchup. John Haycock, the defensive coordinator, knows that. He's been doing a great job with his secondary, being aggressive, sitting on routes. I feel like Iowa State feels like they've got the better matchups. They could probably play man coverage, try to get a little pressure on the quarterback.
Watch Gill. He's in the slot at the top of your screen.
And looks like you do have man coverage up here.
Gronowski looks that way. It'll go down. Caleb Becht. Only 5 snaps a year ago. Came into camp. They voted him captain. He's a walk-on. Let's see, though. Flag.
There was some extracurricular as they were getting up off the ground. An Iowa player hit the ground. Bo Stevens kind of hit the ground. I'm wondering if this could be potentially on Iowa State.
Prior to the sack, holding defense number 19. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 53. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Holy cow. So let's first look at the coverage. So this is Tayshaun James, number 19. He's in coverage on the tight end. That's Vanami. That's the hold. You see the flag pop in. And then after the sack, here's Caleb Becht getting the sack of Gronowski. And it's hard to see, but as the camera is moving, you're going to see a lot of moving parts. Stevens, he's down on the ground. And then as Stevens gets up, he's going to get pushed right here. And he just hits the ground. And the flag comes out right there. And all of that leads to a first down and goal for Iowa.
At the 2, 34 seconds to go. Iowa still with 1 timeout left. Patterson next to Gronowski. He'll run it. Trying to get in. It does. Touchdown Hawkeyes. Mark Gronowski. What a drive for the Hawkeyes.
Power running from the big quarterback, 235 pounds. He's 6'2". Good black block by the running back, Jazz Patterson, and then 11 does the rest for the touchdown.
17-play drive, covering 85 yards. Stevens, extra point, pure. Townsend is the deep man for the Cyclones inside his own 5. And he has the fair catch in the end zone.
And what a half of football. Iowa State gets the second half kick. That's why that was such a big score from Iowa. And, by the way, they didn't score quickly. So they basically sucked all the clock out of this, that Iowa State doesn't have a chance to double dip. They would have to get quite an explosive play here. I will say, though, their kicker made it from 63 yards. So you would maybe be a little bit aggressive outside the numbers, past the first down marker. See if you can get something going and get your kicker in position.
Cyclones out of timeouts. First down at the 25. Becht, pump fake. He goes for it downfield. Incomplete, but a flag on the play. Eskelson, the intended receiver, T.J. Hall, in coverage.
Pass interference, defense number 2. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Easy call right there. They're trying to get that slant and go. Fake the slant, run the go route behind it. Eskelson had a big catch already in this game. And now you're only looking at, Gus, all they need really is about, I'll call it 13, 14 yards in order to try something in the range for their kicker, Konrardy.
He kicked a 63-yarder against South Dakota. Becht.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Open field tackle. This time it's Zach Luton.
That is a massive mistake from Rocco Becht. That ball has to go down the field. There's no way to call a timeout. That ends the half. You cannot dump the ball like that. Oh, my goodness. Only needed about 12, 13 yards. And now Iowa takes a little momentum into the locker room.
And that's the end of the first half with the score. Iowa State 13, Iowa 10 here in Ames. Don't forget, after the break, join Rob Stone and the guys with the State Farm Halftime Show right here from Ames. We're ready for the second half. 13-10. Iowa State on top of Iowa. Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Klatt. That was a fun first half.
It sure
First
was.
of all, a lot of stuff happening, but Iowa State got off to the early lead, but Hawkeyes reeled them in a little bit.
And I think for both teams is really taking advantage of mistakes from the opposition. That's really what led to a lot of our points in the first half. First, on the Iowa side, they were able to capitalize on a muffed punt. Early in the game, Townsend is back. It goes just off his wrist. Very close call, goes off his wrist. My partner had it, those good eyes of yours, Gus. They had it off the wrist. That led to the field goal. Then Iowa returned the favor, a mistake from their quarterback. The interception gives the ball to Iowa State in the red zone. That led to a touchdown. Well, we weren't over because on a third down stop, or what looked to be a third down stop for Iowa, we had this personal foul right there. And Zamir Hawk, he gets called for it. It gives Iowa a free first down. It's first and goal. Kornowski is in the end zone. It's 13-10, and as you go into halftime, I felt like the momentum was starting to shift towards the Iowa Hawkeyes. For Kirk Ferentz, they're thinking more of the same in this second half.
Drew Stevens will send it away. Xavier Townsend is the deep man, and he signals for the fair catch and has it at the 11. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft.
Well, guys, I got to be honest. I anticipated some frustration from Coach Campbell. I grabbed him going into the locker room. I thought he'd be upset with his defense, the penalties, the way they ended the half. And truthfully, Gus, he was so positive. He said, I love the way my guys are playing. Maybe a little better precision in the second half. As for Rocco Becht, he said he's been efficient, a good job taking care of the ball. His message will be, we got to be better for longer. Coach Ferentz said, and he was honest, Gus, we didn't do much to help ourselves in the first half other than the way we ended the half. It's simple. We got to get first downs. Our defense started slow. He liked their response. His message, keep playing. This one was never going to be easy.
All right, Jen, first down and 10 of the 25. For Iowa State, Rocco Becht. Play fake. He'll throw it on first down. Looks deep in the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Overby, but T.J. Hall, who's been having a day, knocks that one down.
I tell you, that is some really good coverage. They're trying to come out and get aggressive right away, and they're going to go with the post right here to their big wide receiver, Dominic Overby. This ball is just a little underthrown, and that allowed T.J. Hall to come back, make a beautiful play on the ball. That is good defense from the senior.
Second down and 10 of the 25. Abu Sama in at running back. And this is Becht, keeps it, and he is dropped immediately. Well defended this time. It's Ethan Hurkett, a loss of 2.
I tell you, that is a big stop because now it produces a real long yardage situation here. Third and forever, and after the way that they end the half, their offense has a chance to get right back on the field. Good stop from Ethan Hurkett.
Hawkeyes starting to bow their necks on defense now. Third down, 12 at the 23.
He's changing the play again, giving signals to the wide receiver.
Becht over the middle. Incomplete. That one thrown high. So well, the intended receiver. Wampa in the vicinity.
Tell you what, he has him here. Becht's going to want that throw back because he's going to get just a single safety in the back end right here. And that's it. Well, the linebacker blitzes. The safety goes back. He's a single safety, which means you've got the one-on-one back to the short side. And he tries to go to Sowell. And Sowell, who's a tall player, 6'3", 210. They wanted to get him going. He's a transfer from East Carolina. He just couldn't hit him.
Tyler Perkins, Weegan, backpedals. Now he'll field it at the 11. Looking for a crease and dragged down at the 5-yard line. Great special teams. This time it's Trey Bell.
That is just a massive mistake from Weegan. First, he lets the punt hit the ground. That is Cardinal sin number 1 for a punt returner.
Holding receiving team nummer 26. That penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal, 1st and 10.
Holy cow, you're going to be at the 2.5-yard line. Wow. So Weegan lets the ball hit the ground. That's Cardinal sin number 1. Then he fields it, and he retreats. Cardinal sin number 2. And now their offense backed all the way up. That's a big punt and a big special teams play for Iowa State.
Kyle Konrardy call for the penalty. A 64-yard punt. Iowa backed up deep at their own 5.
In a low-scoring defensive game, you can't overstate how important that punt was to flip the field. Field position like this can turn into a short field for the offense. Again, if Iowa State can get it a stop, force a punt, you're looking at getting the ball at the 45, 50-yard line. That would be a massive, massive win for Matt Campbell and his team.
First down and 10 of the 5-yard line for Iowa. Terrell Washington. They'll give it to him. And he'll get the ball across the line of a scrimmage. Picks up 3 on the play. My father, his favorite position on the football field, Joel, was the punter. He used to always say, son, who can get you out of trouble the fastest?
The punter.
The punter.
Oh, well, they certainly did on that last punt, didn't they?
They flipped the field, as you mentioned. 2nd and 7 at the 8. Gronowski sprints out, sets, fires underneath, and it's caught by Jacob Gill at the 30. You see the relaxation now from Gronowski? He looks like he's getting a lot more comfortable in the pocket.
Well, when they do this little half row watch, and he's going to throw on time, and here's the route right here from Gill. You see he just sets up and he throws. That's in rhythm. One pat of the football, ball comes out. You see the strong arm from the South Dakota State transfer. Again, this guy's won 50 games. He's thrown for over 10,000 yards in his college career. So his comfort level was always going to increase and increase in a hurry. And I think we're seeing it in real time here.
Gain of 22, 1st and 10 at the 30. Gronowski pulls it down, runs it. Nice little stutter step. Woo, they call that the stinky leg. And he'll get out of bounds and pick up a 1st down.
At Wake Forest with Dave Clawson down there, and Wake Forest did that so well, and that's a little wrinkle here from Iowa.
So gain of 22 and a gain of 11. Now Gronowski rolls out of the pocket. And he'll just step out of bounds as he crosses the line of scrimmage. McDonough with pressure.
Going to get Iowa State to bite in the secondary.
2nd down and 7 at the 44. Let's see what Sticks can do. Play fake. Drops it off. Far side. Caught. Close to a 1st down. This time it's Hayden Large. 1st down at the 49. Patterson. And as you mentioned in the first half, Jazz Patterson gave him a boost when he came into the game. 43, opening series for Iowa. And here's that slow drag again to Washington. What do you call that?
It's the slow mesh RPO. He takes the ball and throws it right behind him.
Ooh, a bag of tricks for Iowa. 3rd and 2 at the 41. Can they stay on the field? And Gronowski leans forward. Did he get it?
I don't think he did. Are they going to stay on the field? Are they going to be aggressive? It looks like they are. Right up at the line of scrimmage.
Fast 4th and 1. They get there quickly. Gronowski weighs 230.
Gus, if he wants to sneak, he needs to go to the side.
He does and picks up the first down.
Back sneak out, say, are you crazy?
So never.
That's right.
10th play of the drive coming up. That started at their own 5. Williams. And the X-Man dives forward, picks up 4. For the Hawkeyes, 2nd and 6 at the 33. Another run, 6 straight. X. And he picks up 4.
Feels like one of those opportunities on a successful offensive drive.
3rd down and 2 at the 29. Gronowski rolls. He takes it himself, another first down. And look at the confidence of this Iowa team now. It's growing every snap. South Dakota State was his only scholarship offer out of Illinois. Had offers to walk on at Michigan State, Wisconsin, and Stanford. Jazz Patterson back on the field. And he'll run it right. Picks up 3.
You got to do something to disrupt the timing of that offensive line.
8 straight runs for the Hawkeyes. Patterson remains in the game. He's the pistol. They give it to him. Gets through the hole. Power running for the Hawkeyes. Now this is the difference between the Big 12 and the Big 10 this afternoon in the Cy-Hawk game. Biggest game in the land here in the great state of Iowa. 3rd down and 3 at the 19. Gronowski tries to follow his block. Ebel with the tackle, a gain of 1.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I know Kirk Ferentz. I was about to say, like, this feels like a go for it, but I'm like, I know that man over there.
You know what? I love that about him.
I know.
No analytics. No, we're going to take the points.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
You know, it's been such a positive drive, but as Coach Meyer was talking about, a drive that's going to stop short, kick a field goal here.
Drew Stevens into a tip one from 36 yards to level this game. Drew Stevens with the equalizer. Iowa has run 32 of the game's last 36 plays, dating back to the long TD drive in the 2nd quarter that culminated in the Gronowski touchdown run. Townsend let it take a bounce, and they pick it up inside the 5. 13 apiece, 4:27 to go. 3rd quarter, Cy-Hawk game. Back after this.
And Rocco Becht, Iowa State can count on him. 9 of 15 for 61 yards and a touchdown. Certainly a guy that they believe in close games in the 2nd half, and more in particular in the 4th quarter. And he's going to have to be good the rest of this one. And I will say, Gus, to clean this up, that was a fair catch signal on the kickoff, but the ball hit the ground, which means it's dead at the place that Iowa State possesses the ball, which is the 3-yard line. A massive mistake for the Cyclones, which sets them up with this field position to start this drive.
1st down and 10 from the 3. Abu Sama in the game at running back. Becht, hand in his face, throws a strike so well. And Chase Sowell, the junior from Humboldt, Texas. And he'll gain 9 on the play.
They were really excited about him coming out of the transfer portal, and he's finally getting healthier. He really didn't pose much of a factor in the first 2 games. They felt like they could get him involved here today, and there's a catch there.
Played at Colorado and East Carolina. 1st down at the 13. Sama, stutter step, and he goes nowhere. May have lost a yard on the play.
Abu Sama, the Cyclone ball carrier.
Shire with the tackle.
Ever since the 1st quarter, don't you get the sense that Iowa is just winning the line of scrimmage?
Yes.
Now on both sides. Their defensive line has been able to win. The linebackers are flying around.
Physical.
They're being very physical up front, and it's made life really hard on Rocco Becht in this offense.
2nd down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Rocco underneath, caught, nice throw as Brahmer, the tight end, all 6-7 of them. Nice hands, gains 5.
Man, what a target to have as a quarterback. That big frame out there can operate in space. And those big tight ends, they're going to be called upon here in this second half in a big way. And maybe on a down like this, third down, trying to get a matchup, in particular on a safety or a linebacker.
Third down and 5 of the 18. Iowa defense has been stingy. Becht, sidearm throw. Woo! Caught. First down. He put some hot sauce on that one. Xavier Townsend with the grab. 6-yard gain on 3rd and 5. First down. Cyclones.
That ball was thrown absolutely perfectly. Watch his Becht. You're going to get this fast route into the flat. And he's got just a small area to deliver this as the defender is closing down on it. That was Intringer who's closing down at the safety number 4. And he's able to fit it in there for a first down.
First down at the 24. Back to the handoff, Sama. Nice spin, leg drive. 210 pounds at 5 feet 11. It'll gain 9.
Watch out for a shot coming up. You can feel it. You can feel it. And the reason is because last year Iowa State didn't do much offensively until they were able to press the ball down the field. Earlier today, Estringer got that fade along the left sideline. That's really one of the only things they've been able to do offensively other than capitalize on the interception when they got the ball in the red zone. So watch out for these receivers taking off deep.
Second down and 1 at the 33. Townsend in motion. They swing it to him and just timing off on that one.
Got to be careful that wasn't backwards. If that was backwards, they would lose that yardage. I think they're ruling it incomplete here, that it was a forward pass. Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, is out on the field trying to argue with the official along with Kurt Ferentz about whether this was a backwards or forward pass. Boy, that is a really tough look.
It looked backwards to me.
It did look backwards, which would have posed a loss of yardage.
Third down and 1 of the 33. First down.
Good push.
Sama gains 4. Neal, Barrett, Boniface, Black, Miller. The big guys up front for Iowa State. A minute left in the third. This one's starting to get fun, folks. A lot on the line. 8th play of the drive. First down at the 37. Becht, slant, caught. Woo! Put the biscuit in the basket. Overby ran a nice route. Wampa decked him. Overby's, he'll have to leave the game after the 9-yard pickup.
I mean, he got thumped by Wampa here. He's going down. As a runner at that point, Wampa goes in shoulder first. That's legal. He doesn't get defenseless protection because he had caught the ball and turned into a runner. So therefore, it would have just had to be crown a helmet. Crowd wanted a targeting, but that wasn't targeting.
No catches last week for Overby. 2nd and 1 at the 46. Handoff, Sama. First down, spinning, and he'll be dropped inside Iowa territory. A gain of 6. That takes us to the end of the third quarter. The fourth quarter. Perfect. 13-13. Iowa State, Iowa. Here in Ames, Iowa, at the Jack, the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Rocco, 6 career fourth quarter game-winning drives. There's Anthony, mom and dad looking on. Deanne, his mom, 1st and 10 at the 49. Sama. Not a lot, if anything. At the 48. Rocco sprints out, throws on the move. Nice throw, kept it low. Eskelson with the catch, gain of 4. Now he's a man that could really get vertical on you if they decided to go to him again.
Great deep catch against Kansas State in their opener against Kansas State and Ireland. And then earlier today, along the left sideline, had a beautiful deep ball. And if they want to go down the field, he's certainly one of the guys that could get that target.
3rd down and 5 at the 44. Becht. Up top, caught again. Overby. But he dropped it at the end. Some smash mouth defense.
Ball's just loose in his hands, and after the contact from Intringer, it pops loose. That was thrown perfectly by Becht, and that's why you see the emotion right there from Overby. He knows that it was right on the money, and he can't haul it in.
Tyler Perkins comes in to punt it away from the 41. Weegan, the deep man, at the 6. And fair caught at the 10. 31-yard punt coming up. The Iowa offense.
Iowa State at bay, and that's why we're tied up.
1st down for Iowa at the 11. Here's a handoff to Patterson. Nice cut. Jazz Patterson taken down by Marcus Neal. Gain of 6.
And that's the key, Gus. Nothing fancy at all. This is what's going on, is that all of a sudden Iowa is just winning on 1st down, staying on schedule. It's the gritty things, and this is what this program has been about forever under Kirk Ferentz. Get the dirty yards. Now it's 2nd and short.
Gronowski and
false start. Offense number 48. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Like they have now, or 3rd and long. They have a very hard time converting, but when they're in rhythm, they get 2nd and 4. They get 3rd and 2. Then they can convert, sustain those long drives.
2nd and 9 at the 12. Gronowski to throw it with time. Gets a block. Makes a move. Breaks a tackle. And makes chicken salad. Gains 7.
Tell you, how about that as a gritty run and a tough run from Gronowski. You can see he's getting up just a little slow, and Ginger heading back to the huddle. But he did exactly what I said they needed to do, was to get into a manageable 3rd down. Now they can go back to the run game if they want, or get him on the edge in a run-pass option and his ability to throw the football.
Iowa has now run the ball 12 straight plays. 3rd down and 2 at the 19. And a timeout call by the Hawkeyes. And welcome back. 3rd down and 2 at the 19-yard line for Iowa. Big play here. 11:29 to play in the 4th quarter. Gronowski, after a slow first half, has really stepped up his performance in the 2nd. He's found some harmony and rhythm. Play fake. Sets up D. Fires down the field. Incomplete, but a flag. Seth Anderson, the intended receiver.
Pass interference. Defense number 34. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
This is such a tough responsibility. That's Bo Goodwin, 34. He's the middle linebacker. And Gus, off of the fake, he's running back straight deep down the middle of the field. And then he gets in the way of the wide receiver, and that contact prevents him from going for the catch. And another big penalty. Remember, it was a penalty that set up Iowa 1st and goal inside the 5 to score a touchdown. And we'll see if Iowa can somehow get a score out of this mistake from the Cyclones.
So they go from the 19 to the 34-yard line. First down. Patterson knifing through, picks up 5, gets to the 40. Let's check in with Jenny Tabb.
Well, Gus, Coach Ferentz has been calmly walking up and down Iowa's sideline, motioning with his hands, saying over and over again, just relax, just play football, specifically telling Mark Gronowski, we're going to take it here and go. And by the way, Gronowski told me earlier this week, I came to Iowa to play for Coach Ferentz, to play in moments and rivalries like this. It has been a different offense in the second half from Iowa, Gus.
All right, 2nd and 5 at the 39. Patterson straight ahead, first down, Hawkeyes and more. Elijah Carnell with the tackle, but Lauk and Bo Stevens really sprung him. Logan Jones as well on that left side.
Ferentz-esque style of game, hasn't it been?
Yes, sir. First down to the 48. Patterson hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Finally brought down by Cummings-Coleman. Kaijan Cummings-Coleman, freshman from Minneapolis. 8 at midfield. Gronowski runs, and not a lot. Dominique Orange, big fella. Been mentioning his name all game long from Kansas City. We talked about barbecue at our meeting, folks. Kansas City has the best barbecue in the world, by the way. And our favorite place is called LC's.
There's a bunch of them. In fact, when we mentioned barbecue to Big Citrus, he just looked at us and he goes, elite.
Just like him.
The barbecue is elite.
It's elite. He would know. 3rd and 7 at the 49. Gronowski over the middle, incomplete. Gosh, he had his man Jacob Gill. He was open. Jamison Patton in coverage.
Watch this smart play. I'm going to alert you to this safety right here. He's in man coverage on the tight end in the backfield, but as soon as that tight end was just running an underneath route, he dips back into coverage. He's a free player, and he's underneath the route. I think he forced Gronowski to throw that ball high. He didn't expect him to be there, and it's an incompletion.
Reese Dakin boots it, and caught at the 10. 40-yard punt. 13 up. A lot of time left. Here come the Cyclones. Usually means it's Rocco time.
100%. This is where this program wants to be. They're constantly in one-score games. They feel like they have the advantage because of their quarterback in these fourth quarters, with him having the ball in his hands.
Drops it off on first down. That's a gain of 5 for Carson Hansen. Shire with the tackle.
And I will tell you this, as a quarterback, this moment doesn't come down to skill, and it doesn't come down to film watching. It comes down to courage. You got to want it. You got to dream about it. You got to think about it every single day. I want the ball. I want the team on my back in this situation. That's the only way that you have success in these moments.
2nd and 5 at the 15. Hansen. I thought it was interesting when we talked to the coaches yesterday at Iowa State's facility, and they said, hey, when we have a good quarterback like Rocco, the building sleeps peacefully at night.
And that man right there, Matt Campbell, said, I sleep well.
Yes, he did. 3rd down and 2 at the 18. Becht, he'll run it. Gets outside, turns it up, slides down, and picks up the first.
What Taylor Mauser can do, the offensive coordinator, is he can put a lot on his quarterback because they trust him so much. So they'll be changing the play this fourth quarter, trying to get Iowa into the correct look. There's Taylor Mauser. He's been with Matt Campbell all the way back since Toledo. He's only in his early 30s, an offensive coordinator here for the last couple of years, but been with Matt Campbell since he was just a GA over 10 years ago.
He said, what kind of relationship?
I think they're going to review just where he slid, but go ahead, Gus.
And he said, look at it this way. When I was a GA and I was dating my then girlfriend, he would give me his debit card and let me use it.
That's trust. That is trust. Hey, Gus, can I use your debit card?
Heck no. Are you crazy? Sarah's not getting my money.
The first down for Iowa State.
And just to finish the Mauser story, he said that when he came to Iowa State, he was dating the same girl. First and 10 at the 21. Here's a handoff. Hansen. So Mauser was dating the same girl. She came to Ames with him. And after 1 year, she said to Taylor, this isn't for me. It's either me or Iowa State. And Taylor said, I'm going with my bro. See you later.
I think she actually said it's either me or Campbell. And he goes, oh, okay, that's an easy one, Campbell, for sure.
Hey, bros before.
Oh, man.
Second down and 4 at the 27. Becht down the field. Incomplete.
Oh, crowd's not going to like that. They got away with a bit of a hold there. Deshaun Lee, number 8, is in coverage. Becht is waiting for a flag, and it's not going to come out. Deshaun Lee, the junior from Bellevue, Michigan, he was in coverage and got away with a bit of a grab. Here he's going to be working against Eskelson, number 9. And watch right here. He kind of wraps away and lift that backhand. He just tugs the jersey to pull himself even, and that's why Becht wanted the flag right there. See, he's pointing, and it never came out.
Third down and 4 at the 27. Rocco Becht, empty backfield. That one, 10, cut! What a grab! Gabe Burkle plucked it out of the air. Xavier Townsend tipped it. Gain of 17.
I tell you, the concentration from Burkle right here is insane. This ball goes up, and then he's got to go back over his head, and then through the contact of the safety, Cohen Intringer, who hits him as he's grabbing that ball out of the air, and he's able to hold on for a first down.
Remember, Kyle Konrardy hit a 63-yard field goal against South Dakota. 1 yard gain on this play.
That plays into everything. The aggressiveness of the play caller. Taylor Mauser, the offensive coordinator. Matt Campbell, his decisions about fourth downs. You really only need about 10 yards right now to feel like you are in field goal range for that man on the sideline getting loose. Konrardy.
And the clock keeps moving. 4:37 and counting. 2nd and 9 at the 45. Becht puts it on the money. So well. Gain 7. Deshaun Lee with the tackle.
Have you noticed this entire drive? We've been taking these shots of Rocco Becht. Look at the calm on his face, Gus. That's why everyone sleeps well at night. This is why his teammates say all we have to do is be close late, because this guy's at his best in the late moments. It's not that he has to make great plays all the time. It's that he's in control of himself and of the moment. 5-1 record in one-score games last season.
3rd down and 2 at the 48. Iowa needs a stop right here. Becht. Jump pass. Caught. And a first down. Gabe Burkle. A 10-yard gain. Sammy Baugh would be proud.
This is just such a great look from Becht. Watch, there's Burkle right here. So he's going to just creep up towards the line of scrimmage, and then just a little jump. A very similar type of delay to the tight end against Kansas State late on a big drive that was able to cap that win. And there, another big catch from Burkle.
1st down and 10 at the 38.
Burkle is an Iowa kid. Gus, his coach has said he eats nails. He's tough. He's thought about this rivalry the entire offseason. He's making huge plays right now.
Becht hands it off. Hansen breaks one. And crosses the line of scrimmage. Harrell gobbles him up after a 1-yard pickup.
So at this point, even though I know it seems like a deep field goal and it would be over 50 yards, but you feel like you've got points in your pocket. In a tie ball game now, coming down 240 and running, you cannot take a sack if you're Rocco Becht. You want to call it a little bit safe if you're Taylor Mauser. And if you're going to make a throw, you got to make sure that there's not a risky area that you're putting this ball into traffic.
11th play of the drive that started at the 10. Option. Hansen spinning. Nothing. Well defended. Merriweather cleans it up. And that should take us to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to go in regulation. 13-13. Iowa State driving.
Here's our Good Hands moment, sponsored by Allstate, celebrating 20 years of the Allstate Good Hands Nets program. And it's Gabe Burkle. How about both of the catches on this drive? The big fella, 6'6", 255 pounds, showing off the sweet hands, moving the chains. And here's Iowa State with a big third down. Every big play this year has been in Rocco Becht's hands. Some sort of play fake, delay to the tight ends. They trust number 3. This ball will go through number 3.
And that's what they're playing for, the Cy Hawk Trophy. 3rd down and 9 at the 37. Rocco. And he'll get across the line of scrimmage. Stopped by Jonah Pace. But the clock keeps winding. Now Iowa calls a timeout. Their second timeout. 1 remaining for the Hawkeyes.
Well, you think about last year, Kyle Konrardy. He was absolutely perfect when he needed to be for 54 to win the game with 8 seconds left. Bam! Into the back net. And Iowa State took home the 1-point win. And here we are again inside of 2 minutes. And Konrardy is going to be asked again to kick a 50-plus yard field goal.
Came into this game 3 of 4. Including that long of 63 yards. He's been money today. A 44-yarder and a 27-yarder. Fourth down and 7. This one will be from 54 yards out. Konrardy. Clean snap, good hold. Good! The money man, Kyle Konrardy. And Iowa State takes a 16-13 lead. With 1:52 to go. 54 big ones. (16-13). Iowa State, 1:52 to go. Look at them, folks. They are rocking in here. I like that. Boom, 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 boom. Kyle Konrardy, 13-play drive, 55 yards for Iowa State. Konrardy trying to give Matt Campbell his first win over Iowa at the Jack. Let's see how the Hawkeyes respond. Weegan, he'll start from the 7. Plow forward.
It's early outside of 1. They had a 5-play, 20-yard drive. It settled in a field goal. Everything else has been 16 plays, lengthy. You know, this is not what they do. This is not where they're comfortable. So they've got to rely on a guy that has never been here before. Mark Gronowski wins 2 national championships at the FCS level at the South Dakota State with the Jackrabbits, and now it's going to be an empty backfield, no one back there with him, and on number 11 to deliver these short, quick routes, in particular on the outside.
First down and 10 at the 24. Gronowski underneath, caught. Vanami with the grab, a gain of 6.
You can only do that so many times because of all the time that you waste if you don't get a first down or don't go out of bounds.
1 timeout left for Iowa. Gronowski in trouble and goes down. McDonough. Timeout Hawkeyes.
Boy, this pass rush was nowhere to be found the entire day. And it shows up at the right time for the Cyclones.
A loss of 7. 1:23 to go. Brings up 3rd down and 11. Get it, get it, get it.
These Iowa receivers have just found no space. The passing game has done very little. They've only thrown the ball for 83 yards. Everything has been short or off of play action. This is not where they're comfortable.
And listen to the sound of this crowd. They can feel it. 1 minute and 23 away. Over 61,000. Second largest stadium in the Big 12. 3rd and 11. At the 23. Gronowski. Again, he's sacked. McDonough back to back. A loss of 5. That brings up 4th down and long. They need 16. Gronowski bounces, steps back. He's got to let it fly. Gronowski rolls, delivers. Incomplete. Lars, the intended receiver, and Iowa turns it over on downs. Coach Campbell told us that when you have a quarterback like Rocco Becht, the building sleeps peacefully at night. Hey, Iowa State, sweet dreams. What a day in Iowa. What a game. 16-13 the final. Coach Campbell across the field greets Coach Ferentz, 2 of the best, not only coaches, but men. But today, it'll be Rocco and the Cyclones victorious. Kyle Konrardy, a 54-yard game winner, and the Cy Hawk Trophy will stay in Ames. And on the field, the AAG is with Coach Campbell.
Gus, you're going to love this. Coach Campbell just said to me, Ames is pretty cool, right? Well, it's cool in this moment, Coach. look, listening to this fan base, I know it's meant a lot to win this rivalry here. It's been a long time since 2011. What does it mean to you and this program?
Oh, I think it's huge. These are milestone moments. And, you know, our kids, the schedule, what we've been up against, real toughness. And we've talked about it all off season, and these kids have bought into that, and I'm really proud of them.
There's something about this rivalry. It is always a close one. And you told us yesterday, I'm going to learn a lot about my team and our toughness after today. What did you learn?
Well, I thought we had great resolve today. You know, not a lot of things went our way at times, you know, and our just ability to hang in there, keep playing one play at a time. And I thought our kids did a great job handling their emotions.
Last question, Konrardy, getting it done. What can you tell me about that guy from Iowa, too?
Oh, man, he's really special. You know, he continues to do great things. What he's about, what he stands for, how he practices, all those things are what's right. So we're really proud of him.
Better enjoy this one.
All right, thanks so much. Hey, get in there.
There it is, the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Let's go back downstairs to Jenny.
Well, Rocco, just taking in this atmosphere, I'd love just your emotion of the moment and what it means to you to win the Cy-Hawk Trophy today.
Oh, it feels amazing. I mean, you can feel it all around you. The crowd is going nuts. This is the moments you live for. It wasn't our prettiest game, but we got the job done. Shout out to our defense and our kicker, Kyle. So I appreciate all those guys, and we'll be better next week.
Everyone has been raving about your leadership and the way you kind of like when it gets close in these games. What can you tell me about your performance and how pleased you were with what you did today?
Yeah, I think it's just the main thing was the ball. I didn't think I put the ball in harm's way, and that's the biggest thing on my mind that I'm trying to do to help this team. So no matter my stats, no matter anything, the ball is the biggest thing for me.
All right, Rocco, go take this in.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Rocco back. Joel Klatcher, final thoughts.
I tell you, you said it all, buddy. Ames, sweet dreams tonight. Rocco was amazing. Great special teams. Matt Campbell continues to build something very special here at Iowa State.
The final score here at Ames. Iowa State 16. Iowa 13. Coming up next on Fox after this short break. Delaware and Colorado. Virginia Tab. Mike Pereira. Joel Klatt. This is Gus Johnson. So long.
How about them Cyclones? Yeah!